All right, what's up, everybody? It's me, Insanity, here for Echo Asylum, and I'm here at Capone's in Johnson City, just a hop, skip, and jump from home here. And I have the honor and pleasure of being here with John, one of the three J's from Course of Action. How's it going today, brother man?
Very good, my man.
So, how was your trip up here?
Awesome.
You guys come from home, or you guys on tour right now?
We are actually coming from home. We are working on the new CD, so most of these shows we're doing right now are sporadic because we're trying to get the CD finished.
Now, is there any difference between playing like a one-off show than a tour? I mean, is it a different feel for you guys as far as like as a band as a whole, or is it more energy? Or
most of the stuff we actually have never actually toured.
Really?
Yeah, we actually, for us, it has been more economically viable for us to play more regionally and then venture out and do the bigger venues like the Rocklahoma and the Sturgis and stuff. And what that's done is it's afforded us the opportunity to be able to build our own studio and concentrate and spend more time and stuff on writing. Touring right now, touring can be a really good thing, but at the same time, in this economy and stuff, it can also be a little bit overrated. So where we play a lot and we were picking up like playing 3 and 4 shows a week, we kept it close enough to home where we could, make it a little bit more economically viable for us.
Yeah, because I know some bands have just taken the leap and just quit their day jobs and said, "Fuck it, we're just going to do it." But
yeah.
You guys, and I'm quite impressed with you guys because I noticed, and congratulations, you're almost about to reach the 10,000 likes milestone on Facebook. I've been pushing you guys hard for that.
Appreciate that.
Now, how did you guys? I mean, doing no touring and just playing like regional, local shows and the big festivals. How did you guys? Get to that milestone, and the popularity and the exposure you guys get?
Honestly, man, through the music, really. Number one, Cherie, our manager, is really good about working the social media and doing all that stuff for us, and she works at that really hard. A lot of it really came from like Reverb Nation and all the different sites and stuff that we were on, and just word of mouth. That's
You guys got it down, because there's a lot of bands that think that they have to just sell their house and go on tour and stuff. But you guys really, you guys impressed me. I've known you guys for 2 years, and of course I got the chance to work with you guys. Your song 107 is on the Knox Asylum Records compilation, and I know that's going to be on the album. What can the fans expect besides? I know Who We Are in 107, but what kind of feel is the new album going to have?
It's got a good feel. It's very hooky. It's a little bit more up tempo than the last album was. It's a little bit edgier, I think, than the last album was, but really a lot more of the same. When I say that, we've never been the kind of band, we're not going to put ourselves in a corner, but at the same time, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel either. When we go and we sit down to write music, the main thing that we are focused on is writing good songs.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. So I'm hoping that when they pop that in, they're going to say, "Well, man, this album's got just as many good songs on it as the last one does."
Yeah.
I don't really care how they really classify it. We've never really been worried about the labels and all that kind of stuff.
The labels are way, especially this day and age, they're overrated because there's so many genres and subgenres. It's like
exactly.
even rock now you're starting to see genres. Like, why can't it just be music, and why can't it just be rock and metal? It's very easy to distinguish the two, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said, congratulations. All your music is amazing. Like I said, I love 107 and Who We Are, and every song I've heard is amazing and just really well written. And how do you get the perfect balance, I guess, of writing lyrics that are uplifting but also real to the heart, and what makes your soul? How do you pour all that out and then put a positive spin on it?
Honestly, man, I think for me it comes from just real life. Whatever's going on in my life at the time, and the things that I see in the world around me, I just try to draw from those experiences, because I figure I'm just one of billions of people on the planet, and we all basically, like Who We Are, we all basically have to live the same life. So I know if it's something that means a lot to me, if I just write from the heart, then there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be able to relate to it.
Gotcha.
Because we all, we're living the same experiences. We all have the same struggles and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, do you think that spills? Especially with your live performances. Do you really get really immersed in the lyrics and the emotionally attached? Emotionally connected.
I'm very emotionally connected to the songs. And when you look around the room and you look people in the eyes and you see them getting emotionally connected to the song, as a performer, that just inspires me that much more. That's the greatest feeling
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world. If it was 10 people or 10,000, if you see those 10 people and they're locked in and they're really feeling it and you can tell, then that's what means the most.
That's that quality. I think with bands and stuff, I don't really see numbers as much as like quality of fans. Like there's some fans bands like Raw that have like a great following, a great following. Not a whole lot of people, but everybody that loves them is like, a really really solid, rock solid fan, and
Yeah.
crazy about it. And I find out with you, your fans as well. You guys have a lot of numbers and everything, but. What do you think makes you stand out? I mean, your band. What do you think separates you guys from the other bands as far as like the content? Why do you think you guys, draw the crowds that you do as opposed to maybe other bands? What makes you guys stand
I
out?
don't think that I don't think it's anything other than the songs, man. I think at the end of the day, regardless of guitar tones and regardless of if you're wearing makeup or you have some kind of if there's any type of trick gadget that you have, we're a no gadget man. I think at the end of the day, if you write good songs, it's going to make you stand out. I think most people can tell the difference between something that they feel like is real and they can relate to, or the difference in something that's just a bunch of good players up on stage playing, but they don't really write songs that well.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see a lot of that anymore. So I think the bands at the end of the day, I think the bands that write the best songs are the ones that wind up stepping out a little bit
Definitely.
ahead of everybody
I would
else.
say with your songs, the quality of them, I think I would, the songwriting, I would compare it to, things like 12 Stones and things like Breaking Benjamin and Saving Abel, stuff like that. I mean, I really think that you guys really connect on that level.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good company, I think.
Yeah,
for
well,
you guys,
and the funny thing is you hear so many different people talk, and they're like, well, what are your biggest influences? And we get that question a lot. And I said, honestly, I don't really, I mean, a lot of my influences come from even things that are totally unrelated to the genre of music that I play in, so I think, we're all pretty well rounded as far as what our musical tastes are, and I think that kind of shows,
Yep.
in the songs.
Nice little hodgepodge of players, and it all just somehow comes together.
Yeah, and people tend a lot of times, I think, especially in the genre of rock and metal, and I don't know why it is. I think a lot of those players tend, sometimes that's the only genre of music that a lot of them listen to.
Yeah.
And eventually it makes their music very one-dimensional. They start to lose any kind. I mean, you could pretty much say these guys sound like this, as opposed to being able to say you guys sound like a melting pot of all this different stuff, and that's what keeps it fresh to me as a musician, is experimenting and trying different things.
That's true. You could be like this band version 2.0 instead of, the influences, and then influences turn into like a byproduct of what that other band is. It's like crazy. But so I know you guys are playing. Are you guys playing Sturgis this year?
That has not been confirmed. We are doing Rocklahoma again this year, and I know that Sturgis is in the works, but it has not been confirmed.
I just wasn't sure because I know you guys played it last year, and I didn't know if you guys were going to be playing this year.
We did the main stage at Sturgis last year with Buck Cherry and Seven Dust, which was an awesome show.
Did you get to hang out with the guys from Seven Dust?
Absolutely.
I got to interview LeJean, and he was. I was thinking that he'd be more more of an outgoing person because he has a larger than life personality. But he was so laid back, and I was like, because I'm kind of crazy like, and it's kind of weird for me to talk to somebody that's so laid back. But he's a really, really nice guy.
We drank moonshine cherries on
I heard some stories
on the bus with Vinny.
Your drummer was telling me that your drummer told me he was a bad influence, and he got he got in trouble.
Yeah.
So,
but it was a great experience.
The drummer. It's always drummers. What's up with drummers, man? They just can't. They just cannot keep their
bad influence.
They're bad influences. They're all. And I told him, I said, you just look like. I could tell you're the drummer. You just look like that guy,
I'm just going to go back to one question that you asked earlier because I never really got to finish the thought, and it's something that's come up a lot recently, and it goes back to the issue of the touring.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are a lot of bands. It's like we were talking about. You got a lot of these guys, and they drop everything at one time, and they run out there and they go out on the road, and I think in this economy and stuff right now, in a lot of ways, it's cool if you can do that. But what winds up happening, one of the reasons why we've been able to weather the storm of the music industry for as long as we have, is that we've not put ourselves in a position that can really burn you out in a hurry. And I have known so many great bands that have thrown caution to the wind and done that, and then wound up 2 or 3 years later, they're fatigued, they're exhausted, they've been out there on the road doing it that way, and now they just, they're throwing in the towel. So there has to be some kind of balance there. You have to be able to make it economically viable for yourself to be able to sustain that and make it work for you.
Yeah, more like a marathon and not a sprint, right?
And that's where we've been. It's not a race, it's a marathon, and that's why we paced ourselves. We still get to go and do a lot of these big shows, but because we're not out on tour, we're not playing in having to pick up every small bar between here and Sheboygan, and you wind up just eventually burning yourself out doing that. A lot of that's tough traveling, man. You throw 4 or 5 guys into a van with a U-Haul on the back and go taking off around the country. 2 or 3 years of that.
Yeah, I've heard some stories about
stuff.
I couldn't imagine, the stories you hear about the people in the vans and stuff.
And we found a way that we're able to get the numbers still. We're still finding it, obviously if we were touring, you'd be reaching more people.
Yeah.
But we're still being able to reach enough people and play enough shows and do enough recording to where we've really been able to balance everything out. And it's just worked for us, I think.
Gotcha. So let me ask you one last question here. What is one band or a band, like if you could have like your dream tour, like a lineup, like or a show, who would you really want to play with? Who do you want to play alongside of? Who do you want to open for? Like name a band that you guys are dying to open
I think one band that even probably a lot of people don't know of right now, currently, that's out there that's really doing some good things, and we played with those guys here actually and opened up for them. That would be a really good fit for us would be Nothing More.
Love those guys.
I think when we played here together that night, I think it was a really good mix. I think our styles went well together. I think that would be a group that I think could be a really good tour with us.
Those guys are so nice.
Oh yeah, really great guys.
Yeah,
and we really enjoyed that.
I was talking to your manager. I said, anytime that they play, I said I feel sorry for whoever has to play after them. Even if, because I've heard stories of those guys like after the band that goes on after them, and maybe like the headliner. And they make them look bad. So it's like, but you can't.
They bring such an energy to their music.
And I've heard that about you guys, so I'm excited about seeing you guys perform tonight. But go ahead and give everybody your links and everything, your social links. Where can they find you guys at?
We are on Facebook, A Course of Action. You can find us at www.acourseofaction.com. You can find us on Reverb Nation at A Course of Action, iTunes. We're out there everywhere, man. If you just punch in A Course of Action, we're going to pop up, and there will be links attached to it where you can find us pretty much anywhere in the social media.
And when will that new album be available on iTunes?
We're hoping that it's going to be available sometime it's a funny subject. It's been going on for a while. We're hoping it's going to be done here in the spring. We're hoping for maybe a late March, early April release.
Keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on Echo Asylum, because we'll keep you guys posted on when these guys are going to be releasing new material, because they deserve to have the recognition they need for being great musicians. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
I was trying to think about your damn name.
You got it right. Well, just think about the J's and you got it, man.
The J's. All right. Well, this has been Insanity here with John from Course of Action here at Capone's in Johnson City. Till next time, rockers.